A very warm welcome back to the program, and thank you very much for watching Smart24 TV, number one business channel. Smart24 TV means business 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. It's the concept, of course, we are bringing on the market for you to get aware of the business opportunity around you and contribute to the national economic growth. And today we are talking about the balance between our exports and imports. What aren't we seeing? What aren't we are actually utilizing? We are a country full of potential, but yet to realize that full potential. And I am with Mr. Muzamiru Abori, who is from the Kampala Arcades Advocacy Forum. Now, Mr. Muzamiru, getting to look at our productivity as a country, I know you've worked with traders. You know what really our people are interested in. You know that our people really work hard and they try to bring things on board. They try to work so hard. But currently, we are still seeing our country import even some of the most basic goods. We used to have a product usually we used to benchmark with in the past when we were young, that we even import, what do they call them? Pins, echikwanso, needle. You know, there are so many things to import, and we really wonder, can't we do this in our country? In your opinion, in your view, what aren't we seeing, and which opportunities aren't we exploiting as a country when it comes to exportation?
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be on Smart TV once again. Well, one, to the policy. You see, first of all, we need to enhance industrialization and see that we have value addition on what we really have right now. It is true we have been so much exporting raw material or semi-raw material and all that. But is it true that we don't really have the capacity to add on value, even to the simplest things? Does it really make sense to import a lemon ointment when you have got a lemon? Is it true that we can really still keep importing vanilla kind of products when actually we have them? Anyway, what we are missing is probably emanating also from education, our education system. It starts from there. Like these products of education that you're bringing out, how industrialized, motivated are they? Do they really have the skills? Yes, we've had those that would really be into the managerial line, those that are in social science, management, and all that. There are so many. But now, in the other line of skills, like how much are you producing hands-on as a country? Well, of late, I'm so happy that they are having what we call creative art, cracking the inner, kind of talent of a student, which is really very good and all that. But again, it shouldn't be probably for the purpose of being there. They should really follow it to depth, because like there is being there, and then it's just, we have had certain subjects in school that they are just really there, and then students have gone really for them. But if you really go to the depth of understanding them, they are not really being focused on, and they don't matter. So skill nurturing, which has come into our curriculum, should be given focus. Two, for those who have decided to go for value addition, how much has also government helped them? You see, I've always attended some kind of I've attended conferences whereby I've always attacked UNBS, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, whereby they look for a product in Chikubo that is manufactured by a Ugandan, a younger entrepreneur, who sat and designed a certain kind of cosmetic from maybe orange ingredients, mango, and other imported little bit of ingredients, and you find that this product is 80% of Ugandan raw material. Now, but because this product is not certified, then is witch hunted. Now, they look at him as a criminal than looking at him as a factory, as an industry. Now, instead of getting this young entrepreneur who has decided to enhance value addition to enhance employment capacities of this country, to help the government widen the employment sector. Now they are witching hunting him. Whose product is this? It is not certified. They'll tell you this boy lives in Najanakumi. He lives in a small room. That's where he makes his things. Like now, did you see white collar enforcement officers? They are looking for him. He is dangerous. He's bringing products that are likely to cause. Yes, there is that part of the safety and all that, which is okay. Look for this person in harmony. Help him advance this product. Understand that? Then probably government come in and see how you elevate this knowledge of value addition. If need be, finance him, and then probably let this become a factory. Chasing somebody who has made a product is also a problem. Now that is a policy. Two,
but Mr. Mzamiru, they claim that Uganda, we continue to produce substandard goods, and the argument of for example, those bodies that regulate standards, is that we are trying to regulate quality. Recently, there was a story that was running in that our maize, which we were taking to Kenya, had some impurity or the chemicals, and then when they traced back, they realized the farmers were putting this maize, when they were drying it, direct on the ground. Not even our ancestors used to do that. We used to at least put a tapling, that is a tundua, and then you put the maize to dry. But they were putting it direct on the ground, and so it could gather some of these impurities, and then they take on the market. So the argument of these bodies is that they want to purify the path of quality.
I love that.
Yes.
You want to purify, but how much are you bringing in to see that purity is there? Because like agriculture being the backbone, have you ever seen how much, have you ever realized how much budget is for agriculture? It is so small.
It's meager. Yeah.
Exactly. Now that means the government wants to earn more out of it, but does not want to invest. If you realize that it is the backbone, then probably, how much are you bringing into this farmer who has had 1 acre of coffee and is a little bit lacking the knowledge of what standard is? Others are not deliberately failing to put the standards.
They just don't know.
But they just don't know
what
standard is.
Yeah.
Because this person is likely to imagine that when you pour a coffee on the ground and then it dries up, then you put in the sack, then you import, you export, then it's okay. Because he knows that the beans inside the coffee, the husks are useless. When actually even the white man wants the husks.
The husks.
Now that means you as in the government, how much are you remitting to agriculture to see that standards are there? Are you just waiting at the receiving end to have the export earnings than really putting in? So agriculture, if it's employing almost 80% of the Ugandan population living on cultivation, then trace for those people, elevate them. Still, I would say it is a government policy. It's a government failure policy. I'm not against the government, but these are economics. We're like, it's impossible to tell the people that the backbone is this, the economic backbone is this, and you're not investing in it. So that's a problem. The same applies to these boys who have just graduated. I want to draw a picture of an investor who has graduated from Makerere University. He has looked for a job and the jobs are not there. And now he has gone into value addition. He did social sciences. Social science is not in the line of value addition. But he has gone somewhere and he has maybe a little bit goggled, and also data has been taxed. But he knows where he gets his money for data to see that he elevates himself with knowledge. Understand that? I've seen boys go in certain zones whereby like there is free kind of free kind of Wi-Fi, something like that. I've seen them. There are certain zones.
Yes.
Hotspots and all that. Thank you very much. And you find these young boys, they're trying, others are doing research. They've told them to do research. And you know, somebody is moving. I've seen there is a hotspot that I've always seen as you are going to Katale, the other side of Seguku. Understand that? There is a hotspot. You find students, young, young generation, young people, they are that hotspot. And I was always asking myself, what are they doing? They are here trying to make research. Others are doing research. But because data is very expensive, and out of that research, he discovers that, oh, out of oranges, there is something I can add on. And now, if he's looking for hotspot to discover how a product is made, that means this person is poor. The only capital he has is knowledge. He has acquired it through data taxino dodge, going to hotspot. He lives in Najana Kumbi. He lives in Kawempe. A friend told him there is a hotspot in Seguku. He has moved on foot. He has reached there. Now that means if government put tax data, that means also killing innovation, research, education. It's a limit. Now that means, I want to answer to your question, that if this boy has discovered that making a simple kind of value addition on orange, and he has started it, then that is well worth to the government. That is well worth to the balance, innovation. Now from there, do you know why people don't go for certification to UNBS, Uganda National Bureau? I want to tell you today, one brand of a micro and small value kind of addition industry, that one on the micro level is 500,000 certified. A 500,000 may look so small to a big earner in government, to a UNBS, National Bureau of Statistics employer, but it's very mega to somebody who walked into parish model to get a small loan. Because parish model, they are telling you 30 people are equivalent to how many millions? There are those who are going to parish model and they are getting 200,000. Let me take an example. This boy went to parish model and got to 100,000. And now,
to qualify their products,
to qualify
need
500. Need 500. But he has also got rent where he sleeps. He's struggling. But he's saying, I'm going to be a manufacturer. It is a dream. I want to be like Mulwana. I want to be like Mokwano. I want to be like, I understand that? Yeah. Now, because some people are heartless, you start witch hunting this boy. One, certifying the product of 500 is very expensive to a young man living in Kasubi, making Hziko, small kind of ointment. Understand that? Living in a house in Boise, whereby when it rains, it floods off all his products. Sleeping in a house in Katanga of 15,000. Understand that? That person does not have the capacity to pay 500,000. He lives a fugitive. He will sneak his products in Chikubo. He wants to survive. He will sneak his products on Loom Street, on William Street. He will sneak it out. He wants it to be in the market. Now, you who is looking for him, put for him a good policy. Say, certifying a product is 30,000. But we're also helping you to see that you elevate, you standardize that product. Yeah. You will see very many people flow UNBS. Yeah. You will see UNBS not coming with a lot of enforcement, with the military hardware. They are looking for the boy. It does not make sense. What kind of mentality, what kind of relationship are you creating to the manufacturers? That means the answer to our exports is probably starting with identifying the people that have decided to go in value addition. In fact, look for them. Like the way China did. China went and got the young generation, put them on board, transported them, took them to universities all over the world. If we don't have that capacity right now, let us start with these ones who have decided to. In fact, young entrepreneurs should create a very strong force. These ones who are starting up. Because the things there is politics. Somebody who is producing at a mega production, a big industry, one brand is 1 million certified. Understand that? For this one is 500. That's a lot of money. It's bigger than his capital. So therefore, we should start by making value addition a little, enticing, creating a friendly environment with the policy makers, incentives. You'll see, because I want to assure you, by the time somebody makes a product from an orange, value addition, somebody producing oranges in lira, he has earned money. Understand that? The demand is going to be there. The oranges that we're going to rotten, the mangoes and all that.
So there's that backward linkage.
Exactly.
To the other sectors.
Exactly. But certain people in certain offices that are making these policies are not real. That means they don't make research. They don't make research. They just wake up and dream and like you say, now somebody to certify a brand from the micro level should pay 500,000. Somebody seated in the office somewhere. He has not made research. What is the 500? Now you as a whole government, if you are giving me a tandikwa, a loan of 200,000 through parish model, how do you expect me again to pay? That means here you are giving me a 200,000, you are taking my 500,000. I understand that. Now that's the problem. Another thing, the first people that came into value addition, the foreign investors, that the president is always, going out looking for them. You see, it is so funny. It's so funny whereby like you see America coming to Uganda looking for foreign investors to go and work in America. For us, they live the 45 million people, Ugandans, and they go to search for the foreign investors.
They have the money.
That is very true. But when they come here, the profits are repatriated. And here in Uganda, there is no minimum wage and these foreign investors, they come here and then they determine the price to pay our labor. I understand that? Now, a lot of energy that we put in, right from the farmer, is if it is in the line of agriculture, value addition. Now, the investors are these ones I'm telling you, these younger boys and girls who are making products, who are running away from a wrong policy. They would be in this industrial park, nurturing them. Because the foreign investor will repatriate the profits. They will dodge tax. You are giving a forein investor
free land.
Free land.
They're given free land,
tax incentives,
holidays,
blah blah, and all that. And when that period expires of tax holiday, they rebrand. They make another name. They come into another name. They cheat you for another 6 years. Yeah. Now, if I'm a Ugandan, if I'm a Ugandan, one, I will invest in here. The profits will remain here, and you'll always see my money around. Because I'm not a politician who is probably going to struggle with money through corruption, and I'm creating an offshore account. So these ones here, they are the real investors, these small ones. I look at that. By the way, it is so funny. Do you know why Uganda was put on the brown list of money laundering? Some of them were these foreign investors who came in here, got permits from National Investment Authority, and then we looked at them as real investors. They created an image of a real investor, created accounts of investors, and all that, and then money laundering, money was coming on the account. And actually, if you go in certain industrial park, they'll tell you this land is for so and so. He has put the whatever, the iron sheet around, and you think there is business going on inside there, when actually they are just offloading certain money on their accounts of these investors, laundering. But later the president tried to counteract on it, and then so that the image does not really go to, we don't go on the blacklist, but we're on the brown list, want it or not. Now that means, who is a true investor? The true investor of any nation is the citizen. You understand that? Is the citizen. And also, as you bring an investor, foreign investor into this country, how much have you included the local content? Is the investor, you allowing the investor to take 100% of the investment as shares? Or probably you are mitigating also a little bit by saying, no, you are coming here, profits, where the company should also have shares of a nation of around 60% or something like that. In other countries, you don't just come and then say that now the company is 100% owned by you. That's why we had to push the local content kind of act to see that a foreign investor does not take all. So therefore, to answer to your question, Uganda is trying to mitigate, is trying to look at the imbalances. Because right now, we are more of importing than exporting. But remember, the biggest import is fuel. You cannot dodge it. Now, there is an answer to the fuel, which is in Onyoro, Albertine region. There is heavy investment to see that we really earn and all that.
The heavy investment also in the oil. I wanted to ask you this one. We are taking our oil as crude to rather Tanga, Dar es Salaam, near Dar es Salaam, so that we can refine it. There was an argument, and of course, the government tried to explain why we couldn't have a refinery here in Uganda, where we can do. Of course, it requires massive investment, but also the returns are quite many, because when you do your own refining, you can easily actually take to other countries. You can, have taxes coming in from people who are constructing infrastructure development, much more jobs. Of course, jobs are being created, of course, by the pipeline they are trying to do, and which has also made some criticism from foreigners not being climate, friendly, and so on. But when you look at the opportunities that would actually occur if at all that project was actually done here in Uganda, there would be mess. Don't you think so?
Yes, it would be, but obviously in the short run, I would really look at the sale, because if we had to look at the transportation cost of a finished product to the other shore, Uganda being a landlocked country, there is likely bigger sale when it is at the ocean a little bit. The other countries are open to.
Okay.
Exactly. I think that's what they were looking at. However, on the other side, there are many byproducts from the oil, and obviously there are other, industries attached to the, byproducts of oil and all that, which would increase, high employment levels and all that. But I think that's what they looked at, and that's what they decided. However, do we really command the oil production? Really? How much is government commanding the oil production? Is it our money? Like a full 100% investment? No. There are other stakeholders. Look at the Total, Sinok. You see, they are putting in money, so they will dictate. Other issues. You see, so, and at some point you'd probably leave them do as they feel like, much as you are probably getting some cut, because if you put Sinok out of this whole deal just because you are rigid or Total, you are likely to get a boomerang. Exactly. So at some point, we cannot allow ourselves that we are so independent into this investment. We can do as we feel like. No, not really. It's not like that. So at some point, even if you are the one in power, you'd really put yourself on certain measures, and you're like, really, where do I benefit? I don't have the money to invest 100%. Probably, let's do it this way. Maybe that's my imagination and an assumption. Are you looking at that?
Yes.
Maybe there are certain things which are obvious, that have really slowed the production of Uganda. Electricity is too expensive. Power is too expensive. You see, this is very annoying, whereby there is intellectual dishonesty. Certain intellectuals of this country, I think they've also not done right. They take no rights. Because if you really make an MOU like the one they did with Umeme, it makes you cry as a Ugandan. They didn't really consider, a nation that really produces this power. This power is not produced from South Africa or Kenya. I understand that, and the taxes, the charges, the tariffs, power tariffs are too expensive, and obviously power and production and economic development are inseparable. I understand that, because I've seen certain industries that are closing just because power is too expensive. And as an arcade leader, I've seen arcaders, arcade owners showing you an evidence of the Umeme charges, and you're like, is it true that yes, I'm supposed to pay 200 million power on this building that is seated on 15 decimal? You're like, this one, that yes, I'm paying 200 million. And you're like, what is this? That means this money is going to a foreign investor. And to me, by the way, I'm always very annoyed of what is really Umeme doing that we wouldn't do? I understand that? Because it does not produce power, it manages power. Now, this management process, why is it very expensive? Anyway, at some point they need to explain. Now, besides that,
Umeme will be exiting very soon, I think 2025.
Exactly, but again, they had brought out another trick.
Yes.
You didn't know. What they were saying, that now, let them come into the installation levels of whereby they can install power to a Ugandan into their arenas, into their homes and all that, at maybe at a 75% cost. Because if now they install power, they bring power to you as a citizen of Uganda, then you pay in installment. The installment may take 10 years
or more.
Now when the contract ends, they will still, no, we still hold on you, we still have, and then you'll be confused of no, let us extend their contract.
Okay.
So it's really funny.
Yes.
So things that would enhance production and economic development, certain MOUs which were done by our fellow Ugandans, I think that was injustice. I saw the president complain about the MOU of Umeme. I think he managed come 2025, that contract should not. I don't know how it bypassed him. This gave me the imagination that certain things were done out of his observation.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Muzamiru. We are still talking the import and export imbalance in Uganda, and of course, Uganda being a net importer. And what can be done to actually improve the situation? I'm with Mr. Muzamiru Aboli, who is from the Kampala Arcaders Advocacy Forum. CAFO, Uganda.
Public relations.
Yes. So we are taking another very short commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and we return shortly. Stay with us.